welcome back to my channel. Today we are watching top 10 questions you should never ask British people. So let's get right into it. My dog liked that. He was like, huh? I'm British. He's a Shetland sheepdog, so he is indeed British.
Castle.
Come on in, you must be worn out.
Don't believe everything you see on Downton Abbey. Not everyone in the UK lives in extreme luxury, nor are we all rich with posh accents. But that doesn't stop the rest of the world believing that we all walk sweeping halls to bedrooms with grand four posters, bathrooms with regal roll-top tubs, and sitting rooms solely designed for afternoon tea and pleasant chit-chat. In fact, the majority of us have local accents, work everyday jobs, and live in modest houses or flats. The escape to the country castle on the hill is but a pipe dream for the majority of the population. So if you ever ask this question and someone answers yes, then you're probably in pretty esteemed company.
I beg your pardon.
Number 9. Is Scotland in England? There are a number of variations here, each as annoying as the last. Wales in Scotland, Scotland in Britain. Aren't the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland just the same thing? Like with most countries and regions around the world, the British borders have chopped, changed, and blurred throughout history. And home nation's diplomacy does seem to alter from year to year. But the key thing to remember is that they're all separate countries with unique identities.
None of this should be happening, should it?
I think it just gets confusing for people. And I remember it's something that children are taught in geography in school, especially as early on as reception, depending on the school. But I know that is something that children are thought about. They might not hammer on it and be like da 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 da, but they do teach it in schools as early on as reception.
Any question that implies
Which is what, age 5?
that being Scottish is the same as being English risks an on-the-spot geography lesson from whoever it is you're speaking to.
So cheer up. It's not the end of the world.
Number 8. Beans on toast? Okay, so this isn't exactly an everyday query, but the general confusion that British menus can cause is pretty hilarious. We Brits are proud of our hearty breakfast options, and the full English is a firm favourite for many. But if you're looking for something quick, easy, and so bloody British it hurts, then beans on toast is the way to go. Only the beanie bready blend often leaves non-Brits scratching their heads, but it's best not to question it. It's a definite case of don't knock it till you've tried it. Number 7. Who do you support?
Beans. I don't need all that extra that was on that last clip right there. All this.
Knock it till you've tried.
I don't need all that. Just give me regular, schmegular beans on toast. Yummy. Sometimes I'll have scrambled egg with that. I need to get some bread. I think that's what I'll be having for my post-gym snack.
It's Number 7. Who do you support?
Who do I support?
Yeah.
Ooh. This is
West Ham.
Although it's pretty hard to believe other.
enjoyed that. Why do I look cross-eyed? Anyway, and yeah, that is a question that's
Wise when you consider how much football is shown on British TV. Not everyone is a football fan. So asking people which team they support is far from a surefire conversation starter.
Constant dizzying, 24-hour, year-long, endless football. Every kick of it massively mattering to someone, presumably.
And even if you do happen upon...
It's funny that they just showed, is that David Mitchell? Because if I remember correctly, I'm gonna go check right now. But if I remember correctly, there's a scene in a show that he's in, called Peep Show. 1 second. And it basically, IT crowd. I don't know why I said Peep Show. That's so random. But anyway, it lets me make my point. There's a whole thing in IT crowd where someone's asking another person, did you see that ludicrous display last night? And then, they then go on to say how, yeah, Wenger, like, they always phone it in, or like, see, the thing with Arsenal is like they always try to walk it in. And then they keep going on, and it's like, it's just one of those things where it does call to the fact that not everybody watches football, and it's now a thing that my fiance always says if anyone brings up football to him, because he doesn't watch football, so he just, defaults to that. But yeah, it's great. Oh, my dog is having a little dream. Did anyone catch that little yip he just did in his sleep? I'm gonna see if you can catch it. I'm gonna speak a bit lower and see if the mic can catch it. Anyway, let's get right back to it. I wonder what he's doing in his dream. Like, what are you chasing? A rabbit? Are you guys having like I wonder what he's doing in his dream. I wonder if he's chasing something, or I don't want to wake him up though. Oh, he's so cute. He's got his head up against the pillow. He's gonna have his dinner in about 25 minutes, so I'm just gonna quickly finish recording this and go feed the boy.
A footy supporter who issues a probably passionate pitch for their favourite team, you might still be talking your way into trouble, particularly if you mention a rival of theirs or any team they don't like. Oh, and under no circumstances should you refer to the beautiful game as soccer either.
They're having a laugh today.
Well, they're winning.
Yeah, they're having a laugh.
Number 6, do you really drink tea every day?
That was
a
IT
line
crowd.
of questioning which seems particularly popular in
hilarious,
America.
considering
It often feels
I'm
like the
having a
rest of the world
coffee
is
right
more
now.
obsessed with our apparent tea habits than even we are.
And would you like a cup of tea too, mate?
Nothing closer to my heart than a good cup of British char.
Oh my god.
Which isn't to say that tea isn't a sizable part of British culture.
What is that? And I need to watch that. Whatever that is. I would like to watch that. Whatever that is. I'm gonna write that down. It's Tom Hardy. And I know him from Peep Show.
A good cup of British char.
Which isn't to say that tea isn't a sizable part of British culture, because it is. And yes, lots of us do drink it every day, multiple times a day, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's just tea. And there's more to us than just the tea bags we buy and how much milk we take. There's also the sugar sweetener debate and which biscuits are best for dunking. If anything, our questioners should be less concerned with the quantity we consume and more focused on the fine art of preparing the stuff.
I think I'll have sleepy time. That sounds good to me.
Number 5, what's the weather like?
I was about to say
For
raining.
whatever reason, everyone
It's always raining.
loves to talk about the great British weather. But be warned,
Especially in
once you get
London.
stuck in a conversation about it, it can go on forever. Get two Brits chin-wagging on whether the weather is too hot, too cold, too humid, or too windy, and you'll feel as though the small talk could spiral for centuries.
What a battle it was! What a storm we endured!
If you're a tourist travelling to Britain for your holidays, then we'd probably advise dodging the topic altogether, unless you'd like a detailed breakdown of the local atmospheric conditions compared to the national average. If that was what you were after, then ask away, and good luck to you. Number 4, are you Australian?
She said, do you come from a land down under?
It's a surprisingly common query issued to us Brits, and it's nearly always completely
never have
wide of the
guessed.
mark. As anyone with even a primary school atlas knows, Australia is nowhere near the UK. Yes, the countries share various links throughout their histories, and they're often pitted against each other in various sporting contests, but quite why the two
What the hell?
nations are so regularly confused is a mystery. Some say the accents are similar, but few actual Australians or British people
Do you know what's funny? The accent that I actually confused with the Australian accent, or not confused, but if I just hear somebody just speaking I might then have to pause or like listen to know if they're Australian or not, is South African. That's the accent. I've never heard someone who is British speak, and I don't believe I have heard someone who's British speaking and then thought, is that someone from Australia? I think South Africa is the only place that I actually, sometimes I'm not certain. And maybe people from New Zealand, but I don't think so. I think it's more Australia and South Africa only.
People are ever likely to agree with that. Struth. It just doesn't make any sense.
G'day, I'm Kai.
He actually says good day.
Kai, welcome.
What accents do you mix up or confuse or, get wrong?
Welcome.
Number 3. Have you met the Queen? The UK isn't the largest in terms of landmass, but it's not so small that we all know everyone else who lives here. And the very vast majority of us have never crossed paths with anyone from the royal family, let alone the Queen. Getting an invite to the palace isn't quite as easy as it's often perceived to be, though there are dedicated fans of the monarchy ready to line the streets for the next stately occasion. But even then, the best you can realistically hope for is a royal wave in your direction. The same goes for British celebs as well. The chances of running into Benedict Cumberbatch, Stephen Fry, Meghan Markle, or the rest are decidedly slim.
I'm afraid I don't know any of the minor royal.
Number 2, is that near London? In a similar vein, the UK does look like a pretty small place on the map, but there's a lot more to it than just one city.
It's all London, baby. Here we go.
Yes, London is a
Rest in peace to Matthew Perry as well.
tourist hotspot
Sad.
and political centre, but we don't all know, or even care, how far away it is from our towns, villages, hamlets and homes. And funnily enough, we don't actually measure our distances by how close something is to the capital. For some Brits, London is hours away, and they may never take a trip there, so the tourist tendency to switch Britain and London as though they're interchangeable feels a little odd for the majority of folks who don't hail from the big smoke.
Oh, very well. As long as I still have that delicious speech about my boyhood in Surrey.
Number 1, who did you vote for? Politics can be a sensitive subject in a lot of countries, but this question feels especially loaded and quite clumsy whenever it's bandied about Britain. First off, there's the whole keep ourselves to ourselves cultural stereotype, which plenty of us probably do live up to. Second, there's the colossal can of worms that is Brexit. For non-Brits, Brexit probably seems a solid conversation starter, but you could quickly find yourself in the midst of mighty debates.
Yeah, no.
Whether you're Labour, Conservative, Lib Dem or other, who did you vote for is rarely asked lightly.
Yeah.
And the answers range from awkward mumbling to impassioned soapbox speeches.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one thing that I wouldn't even bring up with a room full of people who I am close to. Like, I wouldn't do that. Even, I think I was just out on Monday with people that I'm very close to, and I wanted to ask a question about, I think, the US elections, and my brain was just like, well, no, you don't do that, do you? This is Britain. It just seems so out of place. But anyway, that was a nice video. Some things I agreed with, some things I did not, but it was a nice little thing to, get my brain thinking. But yeah, let me know if you agree with all of these. Let me know if there's anything that you also think would be a question that you shouldn't ask British people. Have a good time and a good day, morning, evening, weekend, weekend, whatever. Alright, and I will see you next time. Bye.